chapter 12. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman be delivered and bear a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. As in the days of the impurity of her sickness shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised, and she shall continue in the blood of purification 33 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come in the sanctuary until the days of her purification be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her impurity, and she shall continue in the blood of purification 66 days. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon, or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tent of meeting unto the priest. And he shall offer it before the Lord, and make atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the fountain of her blood. And this is the law for her that bears, whether a male or a female. And if her means suffice not for a lamb, then she shall take 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, the one for a burnt offering, and the other for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. And we are continuing, we'll find from the last chapter. We are in a steady continuance during the book of Leviticus from the book of Exodus, which was just a continuance of Genesis. Because we are basically still in the book of beginnings. All these are still in the beginnings of everything, the ordinances and statutes, as we'll find out. In the last statute, or in the last chapter, Moses was commanded to speak to the children of Israel. That's basically everybody. Of these things that separate, these things that are going to make a difference, to separate between the clean and the unclean. And basically that's everything in a nutshell, as the Lord did make a separation through his ordinances and his statutes with the law, with the separation of the clean and the unclean. That which will be consumed and that which will not be consumed, or that which is acceptable and that which is not acceptable. So there's a separation between, we might say, good and bad from the beginning. It's with the law, or the instructions the Lord give everybody in their own heart and their own understanding. The Lord speaks to everybody for the good. We're going to pick it up here in verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, so once again, Hashem, that's the presence of all creation itself and all the powers that can and are and will ever be. He speaks unto the one who's drawed out, the one who he has saved, to speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman be delivered and bear a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. As in the days of the impurity of her sickness shall she be unclean. So, once again, to all those ones who come forth from Israel, it's those that face every day's adversity, basically all those that are still in their lesson, these children. If a woman, and a woman is simply means from man, and a woman is these things even from men, but we're going to be talking about the female who bears a man-child. A man-child is a zakar. The word here is zakar. It means to be remembered. But we're talking about a male, or of male animals, a zakar, to a masculine, one who has been marked, as we'll find out, marked, or to remember, as we'll find out, to cause to remember the Shem. That's what the purpose is of the male, to carry on the Shem, or the name, or the presence of the first one, you might say. But a woman shall be unclean if she bears a man child 7 days. 7 was the number of days where she was unclean, as in the days of her impurity. This is during a period of the month where she is in her menstrual period. It's going to be about 7 days. 7 is to finish it. It completes even the understandings for this was that which was added to in the beginning from the Lord. 3. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. And in the 8th day, because she is now out of that portion of her impurity, and the 8th day is a portion of the new beginning, because that's when a new beginning, when the Lord made this covenant or made this agreement, and that's what the circumcision represents, the removal of that which covered the understanding in the beginning. So it's a new beginning even in that understanding. That's what it represents, part of the covenant. Of course, not everybody. It goes by this covenant. This here is the term would be used today as a Jewish covenant. Of course, we'll find out it was a covenant that was given to all the tribes of Israel. So we'll find out these that are circumcised are scattered far and abroad today. 4. And she shall continue in the blood of purification 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purification be fulfilled. And she shall continue. Of course, this is after the period of the circumcision. 3 and 33 days. 3, well, that would be to complete it, because that completes the whole witness. These 30 days, it would be a period of dedication in these understandings to the Lord, to show that one is in accordance with the law. 3:10 is more like the way it would be to be written. That would be to complete the law, even in those understandings. She shall touch no hallowed thing. She has to set herself aside for a period of time. These 33 days, she can't touch anything that's hallowed. She can't come into the sanctuary. She is set aside in a sense, until the days of her purification be fulfilled, until the day that she's recleansed. Of course, this is to show there's a period. There's a period of time of impurity, and then there's a period of time of purification, and there's a period of time of being pure once again. So it's to a matter of redemption and the stages of redemption. 5. If she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her impurity, and she shall continue in the blood of purification 66 days. So now if she bear a maid child, this is just the feminine in that sense. The word is nekava, and it comes from a root to puncture, or the one who can be pierced, because that's the understanding in the female. This one, in a feminine sense, we'll find out she shall be unclean these 2 weeks if she has a female. 2, we can witness these weeks, or these periods of time in her impurity. 2 different periods of time, as we'll see the first week, and then the second week, second period. She shall continue in the blood of purification 66 days. So twice as long. 33 times 2 is 66, and we can witness now twice the period of time for that to bring forth the feminine. Of course, I always refer to these as an understanding, a pleasant understanding. It will take twice as long. 3 is score is 20. 3 of them, it would be 60. More like this would be written as 6 tens. 6 because it's a work of man in the law, and 6 days is the work of man, even in those understandings. It will take twice as long. That's, in other words, if we come to that lesson through our own mistakes, it takes about twice as long to come to them as just to listen to the Lord in the beginning. 6. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tent of meeting unto the priest. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled. So when she reaches the end of her period of time, whether for a son or a daughter, whatever, after that, everything changes. We'll find out the law is going to be equal there. She shall bring a lamb of the first year. Of course, this lamb is going to be a male of the first year, even in the beginning of those understandings, for it's a burnt offering. A burnt offering is an olah. It's to make an atonement for a moral iniquity. And a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering. And a young pigeon is just going to be a relative of the turtle dove, those that are known for love or known for the outward show of those things. It's for a sin offering. Sin offering is a kata'ah. It is for a shortcoming unto the door of the tent of meeting. Not that she has committed a moral perversion by doing any of these things, by bearing children, because the Lord did say, be fruitful and replenish the earth. But it's in keeping with the law, with the circumcision and the ordinances of that to these outward shows of the law from the beginning. This is going to be the shortcoming that there was even in the beginning, which led to the moral iniquity. As we'll find out, the sin offering would be offered first, and bring it unto the door of the meeting, unto the priest, because he's going to be the one that slays it and offers it up. 7. And he shall offer it before the Lord, and make atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the fountain of her blood. This is the law for her that bears, whether a male or female. So very much similar to the ordinances of the minstrel. The infirmity that we're talking, that it's speaking of here, is that of her blood, of her issue, or that fountain that's going to return to her, even according that she should be cleansed from that blood, that because the Lord said you can't touch the blood. And then once a month we'll find out the female comes into this situation where that's just the way it is. And this is the law for her that bears, whether a female or a male, whether it's masculine or feminine, it doesn't matter. One law here in the ordinance concerning the blood. That blood stands for the mercy in the beginning the Lord gave. 8. And if her means suffice not for a lamb, then she shall take 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, the one for a burnt offering, the other for a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. And if her means suffice not for a lamb, so she doesn't have them. There's several ways we could look at this. Why not just have 2 turtle doves for everybody? The understanding here is that the requirement is the greater, and but the lesser would suffice. Of course, we always do the greater, and we leave the lesser not undone. But we'll find out the value of them are equal. But she shall take these 2 turtle doves, and we can witness these 2 turtle doves, or the 2 young pigeons, because the young pigeons just used as that which is relative to the dove. The one's for a burnt offering, that's for the olah. The other's for a sin offering, that's the kata'ah. And the priest shall make atonement for her, she shall be clean. And that's the purpose of it all in the beginning, and we get to witness that law because it's to make atonement for her. When that's the whole purpose of the law in the beginning, is to make atonement and to make you clean. Either way we go, that's where we'll arrive in the end. Whatever the Hashem has to do to get there, it's just what we'll do. We're going to move forward to Leviticus chapter 13. Turn and return.